When Scion first showed up in North America in the early 2000s, it felt like Toyota was trying to build a sub-brand with a bit more personality. Something aimed at younger buyers who wanted something quirky, affordable, and different from the usual Corolla-and-Camry routine. And for a while it worked. The boxy XB became a cult hit, the tiny XA and frugal XD appealed to budget-minded drivers, and the sporty FRS drew in an enthusiast crowd who wanted something fun without supercar money. When Toyota eventually shut the brand down in 2016, it wasn't because the cars were bad. In fact, many of them were so solid that Toyota simply rebadged most of the lineup and continued selling them. But the used market tells its own story, and the truth about Scion cars is a mix of Toyota-style reliability, a few surprising quirks, and some very real differences depending on which model you're looking at. If you're thinking about owning one today, it helps to know exactly what you're getting into, especially since their reputation varies wildly depending on who you ask. The first thing to understand is that Scion was never just Toyota light. Under the skin, yes, many Scions used Toyota engines and transmissions that had already proven themselves for years. But the brand carried a marketing identity built around customization, youth appeal, and low starting prices. That means earlier cars especially were pretty bare bones. Some people love that simplicity. Others see it as a downside compared to competitors of the time that offered more upscale standard features. On the used market today, that difference is even more noticeable because tech has advanced so much. A 2008 Scion XB was fine without advanced safety systems when new, but compared to modern used cars in 2025 and beyond, you can definitely feel its age. Still, the foundation matters, and Scion's foundation was Toyota. That's most obvious when you look at the powertrains. The original first-generation Scion XB, the one that looked like a rolling toaster, used Toyota's 1.5-liter 1NZFE engine, shared with the Toyota Yaris and Echo. It's not powerful, but it's famously reliable, with many examples clearing 200,000 miles with basic maintenance. Same with the XA, which also borrowed heavily from Toyota's subcompact engineering playbook. These early cars feel simple, honest, and surprisingly durable, even if they are loud on the highway and not nearly as refined as modern cars. Then came the second generation of Scions, which expanded the lineup. The XD replaced the XA, the XB got bigger, and the TC became the best-selling Scion model ever. The TC is the car most people think of when the brand comes up. With a 2.4-liter 2AZFE engine pulled from the Camry, the TC has the bones of a reliable commuter, but the car was marketed as a sporty coupe. Because of that, many used TCs have been driven hard, modified, or maintained inconsistently. Mechanically, the TC can last a very long time, well past 180,000 miles, but you have to inspect them carefully because previous owners sometimes treated them more like tuner toys than practical hatchbacks. This leads to one of the truths you should realize about used Scion cars. The owners mattered just as much as the cars themselves. Since Scions were affordable and customizable, a lot of them ended up being owned by younger drivers who didn't always follow maintenance schedules. It's not uncommon to find XBs or TCs with mismatched tires, worn suspension parts, cheap aftermarket modifications, or overdue fluid changes. When you find one that has been cared for, it's usually a fantastic bargain. But when one hasn't been, it shows quickly. There's also the matter of build simplicity. Compared to Toyota models sold under the main brand, many Scions lacked sound insulation, advanced electronics, and luxury features. That obviously helped keep the starting price low. But it also means the interior materials feel more basic, and the cabins can get noisy with age. Plastics scratch easily, the upholstery wears quicker, and earlier models don't have many convenience features modern shoppers expect. But if you're the kind of buyer who values a dependable drivetrain over plush trim, that simplicity is a plus. Less to break, fewer electronics to fail, and cheap replacement parts that are widely available. And then there's the car that changed everything for Scion, the FRS. Launched in 2013, it was the first real performance-oriented model the brand offered. Lightweight, rear-wheel drive, and developed in partnership with Subaru, the FRS used Subaru's 2.0-liter boxer engine, not a Toyota one. This created a split in the lineup. Almost every Scion up to that point was Toyota simple, Toyota reliable, and Toyota-based. The FRS, by contrast, brought Subaru quirks with it. Direct injection carbon buildup, occasional misfires, and the potential for high rev wear. It's nowhere near as problematic as some other Subaru engines, but it definitely isn't the kind of tough, worry-free engine people usually expect from a Toyota. Still, the FRS earned a devoted following because it was fun. Used prices today reflect that, with clean examples often sitting between $13,000 and $20,000 depending on condition, mileage, and region. The reality with a used FRS is this. It's generally reliable, but you have to do your maintenance. Pre-2017 models can experience chirping high-pressure fuel pumps, oil leaks from valve covers, and in rare cases, early engine wear from aggressive driving. Most problems are well documented and manageable, but the FRS is definitely the one Scion you need to research before buying. For shoppers who just want a cheap, reliable commuter, the Scion XD may be the most overlooked gem in the lineup. Built with the same Toyota-style bulletproof approach, the 1.8-liter engine used in the XD is extremely durable. Apart from occasional water pump replacements and routine maintenance, these cars rarely have major failures. Fuel economy stays strong even as the miles climb, and the car's small footprint makes it easy to park in tight cities. The only real downside is that the interior is basic and the driving experience leans more toward getting the job done than having fun. The second-generation Scion XB, meanwhile, tells a slightly different story. When Scion made the box bigger, they also gave it the 2.4-liter engine from the Camry, an engine known for reliability, but also known for burning oil on higher mileage examples. This doesn't mean every XB is an oil guzzler, but if you're buying one used, you absolutely want to check the oil level and ask about consumption. Owners who keep an eye on it generally avoid issues. Those who don't sometimes end up with bigger problems down the line. But the XB is comfortable, spacious, and surprisingly versatile for an older compact. Almost like a small SUV alternative before compact crossovers took over the market. One thing Scion did extremely well, even today, is affordability. Used prices remain very reasonable because the brand no longer exists, and that alone reduces demand. You can regularly find clean XBs, XDs, and early TCs in the $4,000 to $10,000 range depending on mileage and condition. The cars are inexpensive to run, insurance costs are low, and Toyota parts are among the cheapest and most widely available on the continent. Budget-minded buyers, students, commuters, people buying a first car for a teenager, will find that Scions make a ton of sense. But Scion cars are not perfect. Older models are showing their age, especially when it comes to safety tech. No lane-keeping assistance, no blind spot monitoring, no adaptive cruise control. Basic crash structures are fine, but not exceptional. And because Scions often attracted a younger driving audience when new, many examples on the used market have tougher wear and tear than equivalent Toyotas from the same era. Interiors rattle, suspensions get tired, and aftermarket modifications can be hit or miss. The key to owning a good used Scion is finding one that wasn't abused, skipped over in maintenance, or modified without care. The good news is that Toyota kept supporting these cars even after shutting the brand down. Many Scions were rebadged as Toyotas immediately, like the FRS becoming the Toyota 86 and the IA becoming the Yaris IA. That means parts availability isn't an issue. Mechanics know how to repair them. Dealerships still service them without hesitation. There's nothing orphaned about the ownership experience. The badge may be gone, but the support network remains intact. Another thing about used Scions is that they tend to be more fun and expressive than equivalent Toyotas. The TC has a hatchback practicality hidden under a sporty roofline. The XB is unapologetically boxy. The FRS feels like a classic Japanese sports car, built for modern drivers. Even the simplest models have a charm to them that makes them feel less generic than a Corolla or a Yaris. If you want a car brand with personality without sacrificing reliability, Scion fits perfectly into that middle ground. So, the real story of Scion cars in the used market is a story of value and honesty. These cars do what they were designed to do: be affordable, be customizable, and be long-lasting thanks to Toyota engineering. They're not fancy, and they're not packed with tech. They don't pretend to be luxury cars, and they don't offer the latest driver assistance systems. But they do offer strong reliability, low ownership costs, and a unique identity you won't find in many other budget-friendly used cars. If you're buying one today, you just need to match the model to your needs. If you want one cheap and ultra-reliable, look at the XD or first-gen XB. If you want something with personality and space, go for the second-gen XB. If you're looking for a fun car, the FRS is still one of the best entry-level sports cars on the used market. If you're looking for something practical with a little sporty flair, the TC is a strong choice, as long as the previous owner didn't treat it like a track toy. The truth is that Scion cars were quietly good, and many of them still are. They're simple, trustworthy, inexpensive to keep on the road, and backed by Toyota's long-term support. If you're one of those shoppers who don't need the latest tech, but want a car they can depend on every single day, a used Scion might be one of the smartest automotive bargains left in our time. If you found the video useful, be sure to hit the like button to support us. Thank you.